my beautiful yogis. It is December and it is a week before where most of the world will be celebrating Christmas. I can't believe how fast this year is gone, another year. So I come to you today to explain what's been going on in the past year because I'm sure I've gotten a few comments from some of the students. Where are you? Are you still practicing? Are you still teaching? I apologize. Some of you that know me know that I've been quite busy, changed it up a bit. I started the Airbnb. My husband and I bought it in April of 2024 in St. Augustine, Florida. And we spent the first year, he totally renovated top to bottom. And we listed it on to the Airbnb for the Night of Lights and we launched it. And as soon as we launched it last year, and Night of Lights, if you don't know, St. Augustine has an annual festival where people come from all over the world and they come to see the beautiful lights. And we have just tons of lights that light up at 5 o'clock at night all over town. And so everybody comes from all over the world to see St. Augustine during the Nights of Lights, which normally runs around the 25th, 27th of November. It used to go up until almost the 20th of January. Now they've cut it back to like January 11th of this year. But it runs for that consecutive period of time, and we are just full of tourists and locals, all seeing the beautiful lights and enjoying everything that the ancient city has to offer. So needless to say, we had bookings, and then came January and we had what we call the snowbirds here in the South, the northerners that come down to get out of the miserable weather. So we had rented to snowbirds, and then we had our spring break crowd. And then we had, local workers that needed rentals. So we've been quite busy learning how to be the 5-star, proud to say, super host Airbnb. I've been promoted to super host this past couple of months. Airbnb hosts, and we've had a lot of great people coming in and out, and it's just wonderful experience getting to know that. And my entire community, it's been wonderful in St. Augustine, my neighborhood, my little community. We just are a great bunch of people. A lot of us are doing the rentals, and that's part of our income or side hustle, and it's great to have neighbors of like mind, and we can share a lot of trials and tribulations and ups and downs and friendships that developed out of just basic questions to each other and great deep community. I will be moving to St. Augustine. I have a goal now. We are actually going to be adding on to St. Augustine. We're going to continue to do the Airbnb, but we're going to add on a space for a small little nest for my husband and myself, so that we can transition from this house and move to St. Augustine in a certain time frame that we're looking at doing. So we're really busy doing that, and that's going to continue for the next 3 years in our plan. So we're going to be quite busy with that. However, I will be getting back to you. I will be doing the yoga videos. I will be teaching. I will be going through the readings with you, and we will be doing the studying as well. And in our house, we celebrate Christmaka. So it's a week before Christmas, so we're going to celebrate today. We're going to show you. We are set up for tonight, okay? And we are ready to do the 5th night of Hanukkah tonight, and this Thursday. And have, of course, Christmas, because I am also a Christian. So my husband was raised Jewish, and so we do the menorah to celebrate that part of our religion. And then I was raised Catholic, but then I became a Baptist later in life, and now I'm pretty much non-denominational Christian, and I celebrate, of course, Christmas. So in this house, we do Christmaka. And unfortunately, my grandbabies are passing some kind of flu type of bug around, so they've been in and out of school and daycare this past week. And today, both the boys are home with my son. So it's been a little bit of a havoc for the Haynes family household, trying to for them to try to get through most of the beginning here of December. So I'm hoping the children are all feeling better, because they're all coming to Nana, Cat, and Chief's house on Christmas Eve for a nice little feast. We're going to have a great feast. I'm going to make a little feast I ordered from Wild Fork, and I sent it to my neighbor. I had a neighbor who Talk about community. I had a neighbor who lives next door. He owns his own roofing company in St. Augustine. And we built a gazebo as part of the renovation, and we needed a metal roof for it. And we needed also a piece that goes to the metal roof, in between the two homes, the gazebo and the home. So my husband had built the kit part of the roof, but he needed that one piece. And he knew that my neighbor, being the roofer, had all those parts, and he wanted to hire him and his crew to do it. So he did, and they came over the morning that he wanted him to do it, and they did it. And there was about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 guys all together, and they knocked it out really quick. And then my husband says, okay, how much do I owe you? He says, you don't owe me anything. He says, what do you mean? You're my neighbor. I don't charge you. You're my neighbor. So we, of course, we're not used to that at all coming from the north, okay? That's just not, even if it's your neighbor, he's going to send you a bill and it'll be a big one. And, and you owe him one for being your neighbor and doing you a job that you paid him for. But here, no, you're my neighbor. I'm not charging you. How wonderful is it to hear that? So Scooter didn't charge us, and we wanted to send him something really nice. So I didn't know what to do. And I didn't know, I don't really know them at this point. They're all new to me. I know a little bit about him just from meeting and talking, but I don't really know. I know he's single, he lives alone. I know he has a grill in the back. So I thought, okay, he's raised in the South. He's got to like his fish. So we went to online, and I went to Wild Fork, and I got him a nice mix of things. And I think there was lobster tail in there, and there was some stuff for the grill. Anyhow, he loved it. So long story short, I'm going to try to have Wild Fork for Christmas, and we're having it dropped off tomorrow. And then I'm going to plan my little weekend with my granddaughter and take her to see the Bible story of David over at the pavilion. And she's going to do some sleepovers with Nana, and we're going to get things ready for our little fiesta for Christmas Eve. And that should be a beautiful, blessed time to share together. So I hope everybody is celebrating whatever you celebrate, that it is beautiful for you as well. And that in the busyness of being busy, that we remember to take time for self-care, self-reflection, and to do the right thing by drinking hot stuff. It's a steaming, as you know. I was waiting for it to cool down. Hot tea, hot beverages during this time of the year. The Ayurvedic way of living as a yogi is a good health benefit to you, to keep the warm fluids and keep hydrated, so that your body can consistently go with the rhythm of the seasons as we change. So what else went on in 2026? Well, my husband and I, he became a notary again. He used to be a notary years ago when he was a bondsman, and he became a notary again, and we added home inspections to the notary business, and also did some major studying this year, and we added trusts and wills and estate planning and things of that nature, working with estate attorneys. So the notary business is definitely changed because of the rates and everything. People aren't buying homes or switching up their homes because they're in a low interest rate, so they're not going to give it up, and why should they? So with the rates being so high, it had slowed down on that part of the business. But my husband is moving in a direction with his notary stuff. So that's what we're doing for the new year. He has his handyman business, his home inspection business, and as well, of course, the main business, which is iCat Digital. So that's his web development business. So we do have those things that we have in play, and that keeps us quite busy as a family. And I wrote a book. Yes, I wrote a book, a new second edition, ready, set, sail, Confessions of a Serial Traveler by Kathleen Wendorf. And this is my top secret business, my top secret travel. And it talks about how to travel, when to travel, what to do, when not to go, what to spend, what to budget, how to budget. It's got graphs, charts. It also is in a fun format because it's written sort of in the Lady Whistledown of Bridgerton tone. So I hope if any of my fans out there of Bridgerton, if you pick up a copy on Amazon or Books of Books, Books a Million, you will definitely appreciate that Bridgerton theme that I put in there. And it's a great book. It's a great guide. It's something you should have if you're traveling or thinking about traveling or always wanted to travel and just didn't have the means or wasn't sure how to go about it. This book will show you how to do it, and you can go for basically free is the bottom line. You just have to learn how to do it, and that's where I come in. So that's a separate channel that I have. And that is the Real Travel Agents of Florida on YouTube. You can look for the Real Travel Agents of Florida. So today, what I want to talk to you is a little Deepak as we're getting to the close of the year. I thought, what would be appropriate to talk to my yogis about? What would be a passage that maybe made sense right now? Sorry, I have to have it while it's just at the right temperature. And I thought about also like what speaks to me. And lately I've been doing my reflection. I talk about reflection. I've been doing reflection, and I went back 35 years on this reflection, back to someone that was very important in my life at that time. And I reflected on how that relationship transpired and over the years where that relationship went. And that reflection led me into other deeper reflections. And sometimes when we reflect, it's good, it's positive. And sometimes it could bring up things that we maybe didn't resolve. But either way, reflection is something that we do as an inner thing, as part of our inner growth. And when we talk about reflection and the branches of yoga, I thought about Sadhamahai, the 8th branch of yoga, which Deepak talks about. And in the 7 spiritual laws of yoga, he wrote that with David Simon, Deepak and David Simon. In the Sadhamahai, it says, Sadhamahai is the state of being settled in pure, unbounded awareness, going beyond time and space, beyond past and future, beyond individuality. This right here, that first little bit made me think about beyond the past and future, because when I was reflecting on that relationship from 35 years ago, I was going to the past, and then I brought myself to the future with it because I was thinking about what happened over the years since that person came into my life. So I like how Deepak, he loves to talk about the past and the future. He's one of the rare yogi speakers that do that. This is your essential nature. Immersing yourself in Sadhamahai on a regular basis catalyzes a transformation of your internal reference point from ego to spirit. You perform your actions in the world as an individual, while your inner state is one of a universal being. This is a state of being in which fear and anxiety do not arise. You surrender your need to take yourself too seriously because you recognize that life is a cosmic play, and like a great actor, you perform your role impeccably, but do not lose your real self in the character that you're playing. This is the goal of yoga: to know yourself as a spiritual being disguised as a human being, to be established in union and perform action in harmony with the evolutionary flow of life. So these 8 limbs of yoga, as written by Patanjali, are just really, you could just spend hours taking them apart. But the 8th limb of yoga, Sadhamahai, enlightenment, the end result of our practice, our goal, that is the most beautiful, rewarding part of the journey. And we don't reach enlightenment until the end. And the Buddha believes that we release ourselves into enlightenment when we pass from this youthful body into the unearthly body, into the soul, into the heavenly body. So we want to attain enlightenment. Whether you're a Buddhist or a Christian or you're Jewish or you're an atheist, you have something that you think about. And I pray for the atheists because I want you to know our Heavenly Father, whatever that is to you. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I don't think the atheist wants that. So they're not going to seek that. And I do know a few atheists. So for them, I give a gentle prayer. I hope it doesn't upset them, but I do. Especially during this holiday season, because if you don't know a higher power or being, the whole part of the having celebration sort of loses to me some perspective. And when we talk about community, it's so funny that I went to Discover Yoga, where I did my teacher training all those years ago on Davis Street in St. Augustine. It's no longer there now. It's off onto over by Volano Beach, which isn't too far, but it's still not where it used to be. So it's kind of a little different. But who would have thought that I, Kathleen, would have gotten her next home where she's going to spend the rest of her days, or most of the rest of her days, in where I did my teacher training? Isn't that some kind of Sodomahai? Some kind of good ending? That is part of my Sodomahai journey. I believe that strongly now. I never imagined I'd be able to attain a place in St. Augustine. It was always out of my reach. And it wasn't even a thought, because I did look into it for a couple of times. I looked into purchasing something there, and it just wasn't going to happen each time. And, I just couldn't make it happen. And so I was like, well, what's meant to be is meant to be, right? And God will show me my path. And God showed me my path. And here I am now. And I've owned the house. I'm coming up on 2 years. And now I'm getting ready to gear up to add on to it, to build onto it and make it my own, to move into my little nest there and continue to do this community thing and this Airbnb. And I think maybe because the intentions had to line up. Maybe I believe that my Lord, my Jesus, wanted me to get my ducks in a row. And once my ducks were in a row and the stars aligned, he said, okay, now we're going to give her that place. And she's going to work hard for that place. And it's going to make her and her husband sweat. And boy, do we sweat there. And it's going to cost her money. And she's going to work hard. And there's going to be days when she's wiping her brow going, wait, why did I do that? Why did I want to do this? And then there's going to be that moment where it all makes sense. And we've both had that. He's had it, I've had it, and now we have it together, and it's just a beautiful thing. And the community there, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing right there, community. Especially as we age, community is important. Having that around you, contributing to it, being a part of it, that's going to help you with longevity. I'm a firm believer in that. So as we close out this Christmas season and this year, we look forward to 2026, and we embrace all that it'll bring us. And we reflect on the past, but we also remember to be in the present moment and to be grounded and to understand that it's okay to take that moment to reflect, and it's okay to have that cup of tea, and it's okay to sit and read that book, because guess what? The problems of the world, the to-do list, the chores, it's all going to be there. It was there yesterday. It's there today. It'll be there tomorrow. Take time for yourself. Take time for your community. Take time for those that you love. And just remember that you are loved deeply by me. I send you all of my holiday blessings to you and your family, and I hope that you continue to follow me on my journey, both as a travel agent, as a yogi, as a grandmother, and as the crazy cat lady, Airbnb lady of St. Augustine, Florida. And if you haven't seen Night of Lights, Google it. You'll be amazed of all the cool stuff that goes on in our ancient city. We look forward to seeing you again in the new year. Thank you. Namaste.